It's my birthday. Hello, it's Benjamin from EnglishWithBenjamin.com, and like I told you, today's my birthday. I am 25 years old today, so I thought I would share 25 interesting things about me with you. Number 1. I was born in Falkirk. Falkirk is a town in central Scotland, halfway between Edinburgh, the capital, and Glasgow, which is the biggest city in Scotland. Number 2. When I was a child and a teenager, I never liked languages. In fact, I had to study French at school. French was the language that we had to study at school in Scotland at the time. I think it's still the same, but it might now be Spanish. Well, I hated French and I found it very difficult to learn languages. But now I really regret not paying more attention in class and actually trying to learn French. Number 3, I used to travel for 1 hour to get to school. I had 2 trains and then a short walk just to get to school in the morning. And then obviously another hour to get back home in the afternoon. But I did do all of my homework on the train. Number 4, I used to love rugby. I played rugby most days of the week. In fact, at one point, I was playing for 3 different teams at the same time. Number 5, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a portrait painter. Yeah, a portrait painter. Here's a true story. One Christmas Eve, I spilled black ink on my parents' cream carpet. This was at about 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and the supermarkets were closing at 6 p.m. I had to rush out to find carpet cleaner to try to remove the stains before the guests came to celebrate Christmas. I got my first job when I was 18. I was at university and I needed some extra pennies for beer. So I worked as a KP, or a kitchen porter. Basically, I would wash the dishes, the pots and the pans in a restaurant. It wasn't a fantastic job, but it wasn't the worst. Number 7, I hardly ever listen to music, but when I do, I like to listen to metal. My favourite groups are maybe Black Sabbath, Down, and Iron Maiden. I love photography, but I don't actually have a lot of time to go out and take photographs at the moment. My favourite type of photography is street photography. It's all about capturing unique moments that you find on the street. Number 9, I'm sure I'm not the only one who had this dream, but my childhood dream was to become an astronaut and work for NASA. My childhood bedroom was painted a dark blue colour. There was some wallpaper that had some space scenes on it, you know, like an astronaut landing on the moon or some satellites and things like that. And I also had glow-in-the-dark stars painted on the walls and on the ceiling. I loved it, but now that I think about it, it was a very dark room. My first car was a Ford Ka. It was a bit rusty, but I loved it. That car will always have a special place in my heart. Fun fact, I passed my driving test on the 24th of September 2010. That was exactly 7 months after I could legally start driving lessons. I love card magic, but I'm not very good at it. Sometimes I like to do some tricks for the children that I teach. They're the only ones that actually appreciate my magic. Was this your card? I have recently discovered a new hobby: escape rooms. I absolutely love escape rooms. And I've already done about 20 of them. Yeah, here are some pictures. I'm not a fan of sweet food. I would rather eat crisps or potato chips than chocolate, for example. But curiously, I can't stand salted popcorn and I can only eat sweet popcorn. Some people find that very strange. I find it incredibly difficult to buy shoes. When I was younger, I broke my foot. I didn't rest enough, so it didn't heal properly. And now I have one foot that is wider than the other. So finding shoes is really difficult. Normally, shoes that I find in shops hurt my feet or hurt my one bad foot. I used to play the piano and the violin at school. I used to play jazz and blues music on the piano and traditional Scottish music on the violin, but I don't play anymore. Right now, I am living just outside Barcelona in Spain, and I moved here on the 2nd of October 2015. I started learning Spanish on the 2nd of March 2015. I started with some group classes. I didn't enjoy them because I felt that I was learning quicker than the class. So I decided to take things into my own hands. I started learning by myself on the internet, and then I took some classes on Skype. My favorite resource for learning Spanish was YouTube. Here's a video of my first day speaking Spanish.
Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Qué tal? Mi nombre es Benjamin, pero me llamo Ben. Soy de Escocia y tengo 22 años. Mucho gusto y hasta luego.
My favorite city is Dubrovnik in Croatia. I visited Dubrovnik on a Mediterranean cruise and I fell in love with the city. It was absolutely gorgeous and one day I would like to go back. I am a dog lover. I don't hate cats, but they're not my cup of tea. One of my first dogs was a Jack Russell Terrier called Fizz. My sister named the dog Fizz after a character from a children's television show called The Tweenies. I am really, really bad at answering WhatsApp messages. I normally take 2 or 3 days to get back to someone, even my mother. Sorry, Mum. Side note, I don't like WhatsApp groups, not even in the slightest. They infuriate me. I don't have any tattoos. I would like one in the future, but I used to have several piercings. Fun fact, when I was 16 and I could legally go and get a piercing, I went with a friend and got my ear pierced here. I didn't want my mum to know that I had had my ear pierced. So I wore a hat all the time for about 6 months until one day she came home, I had forgotten to put on the hat and she saw the piercing. My sister still finds this funny to this very day. And number 22, yes, I do have a sister, one sister. Her name is Jessica, she lives in London, she's 3 years younger than me, and I think she's going to move back to Scotland soon. 23. I have a crippling fear of sharks. This started when I was very young. My parents took me on the Jaws attraction at Universal Studios in Florida. Since then, I have had a crippling fear of sharks. I really can't stand them. And yeah, number 24, to follow that last one up, I am a wimp. I cannot watch scary movies. I have probably only watched about 3 or 4 scary movies at most in my entire life. I much prefer war films instead. And that leads me to the last one, number 25. I find the First and the Second World War extremely interesting. One of my favourite YouTube channels is The Great War. It is a YouTube channel about the First World War. And when I was at high school, we went on a trip to Belgium to see the battlefields of World War I. That was an amazing experience and it has really impacted me. Okay, I hope you have understood everything that I've told you. Now, stay tuned because I'm going to give you some comprehension questions to check that you understood what I said. Question number 1. Which is the biggest city in Scotland? Question number 2. How long did it take me to travel to and from school? Question number 3. What does a KP do? Question number 4. What is street photography? Question number 5. What was wrong with my first car? Question number 6. Which website did I find helpful when learning Spanish? Question number 7. What did I hide from my mum for several months? Question number 8. What am I scared of and why? Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, then click the subscribe button and click the little bell icon to get notifications of when I upload videos. Leave a comment down below with some interesting things about you. I will respond to them and we can have a conversation in the comments. I will correct you if you want. See you later. Bye.